Hare Krishna, Krishna Om Vishnukraya Krishna Prasthaya Buddha Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Pranamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravarni Charane Nirvi Shesha Shivadi Om Agyanadimandasya Garanjana Salakaya Chaksurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Visham Savitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sarvajaitam Bhagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabhadutam Vrajana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabando Jagate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gauraki Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Siddhadevi Ranamami Hari Priye Panchakapatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Chaitanya Shivasi Gaur Bhaktavrida Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhaktavrida
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhaktavrida
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhaktavrida
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhaktavrida
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhaktavrida
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhaktavrida
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So it's nice being here. Right before I came, I was in the car from Radhadesh, Mangala Chandra, wife of Sanatan, Rupa Sanatan, came to me and said, "Oh, I read that in Ljubljana they're having a 4-day festival for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day." And she said, "I think they like festivals." So I'm fortunate to be here for the last day of the festival. And of course, this festival is about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Radha Krishna, Nahi Anya. That Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the combined form of Srimati Radharani and Krishna, or Krishna feeling separation from himself. So we're singing the song, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Doya Koramore, that please give me your mercy. And the more we can learn how to actually sing it sincerely, because we can sing anything, the question is how sincerely we feel that we actually want Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Srila Prabhupada was in a train in India with some of his sannyasi disciples, and some Indian gentlemen wanted to get into the car to receive Ashiravad, to receive Prabhupada's blessings. The disciples of Prabhupada didn't want these Indian gentlemen to get into the car and wait Srila Prabhupada's time, because in India everyone's asking for blessings. But somehow or another they caught Srila Prabhupada's eye, and Prabhupada was obliged to allow them to come into the car. So they came into the car, the train car, and they said, Swamiji, Swamiji, we want your blessings. So Prabhupada said, very nice. What kind of blessings do you want? Generally, no one ever asks what kind of blessings, because you just wave your hand and say blessings. People think, oh, I got my blessings. I got what I wanted. So Prabhupada asked, what kind of blessings do you want? So one of them said, well, I have this daughter, it's very hard to get her married, costs so much, I need your blessings. Another one said, well, I have this water on my foot, just won't go away, I need your blessings. So Prabhupada pointed to his sannyas disciples, their dress, their dhoti, and said, this is my blessings. He said, Swamiji, it's very late, we don't want to disturb you. I think we'll come back later and give you your blessings. And they left. So we're asking for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, and the question is, how much of that mercy do we actually want? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Dvaya Kora More, Tomar Bina Kedayayu, Jagat Samsare. That in this world, who can be more merciful than you? And you've come, Patita Pavana Hetu Avatar. So he's come to deliver the fallen. So the question is, do we actually feel ourselves fallen? And fallen from what? In other words, generally speaking, everyone in the material world is quite happy. Prabhupada said, even the worm in the stool feels himself quite fortunate that now he's found himself free room and free board, doesn't have to work. He's in a nice, comfortable position. His whole family lives with him securely. So everyone feels themselves satisfied by material happiness. No one feels himself fallen, generally speaking. And if you do, then you tell someone, I feel fallen, immediately they call the ambulance and you put into a psychiatric hospital. People want to feel self-esteem. They think the poor Hare Krishnas, they feel themselves fallen. They lack self-esteem. But actually we're supposed to understand what our actual fallen position is. After all, according to the Bhagavad Gita, according to the reality of the situation, we're all eternal spirit souls. And we're misidentifying ourselves with these gross and subtle material bodies, which means that we're more or less crazy. So a crazy person is quite in a difficult position. You could say he's fallen. We're fallen from our original position of eternal happiness and full consciousness of our actual identity and the identity of everyone else. But now we're fallen into this material ignorance. And the worst thing is, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, that I'm so fallen because I think I'm advanced. I'm in such an unfortunate situation, in spite of the fact I've forgotten who I am, and I'm thinking myself to be something that I'm not, or someone I'm not. I'm actually thinking I'm doing quite well. That's how unfortunate I am. And even more unfortunate than that is not only to forget who we actually are and think ourselves to be something that we're not, but to actually believe that if I make more advancement materially, then I'll actually be happier. So people are mad after material happiness. Janma Aishvarya Shuddha Sridhira Edamana Madat Puman Naivahatya Vadatum Vai Twamakinchana Gochar. That those who are mad after better material position, material wealth, mundane education, material influence, bodily beauty. They're intoxicated by material existence, but because they're hankering after more material advancement, they become completely crazy. And a crazy person can chant Hare Krishna with feeling. Considering that we're 1/10,000th the size of the tip of hair in size, which is really quite small. If you take one hair, which is quite small, and you divide it into a, 1/10,000, so you divide it into 100 times, that's quite small. And then if you divide that one of those hundredths into another 100th time, that's even smaller. And that's how big we are. One time one devotee went to Srila Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I'm a very small devotee, but I have a very big problem. Prabhupada said, how can a small devotee have how can a small person have a big problem? So we're 1/10,000th the size of the tip of hair in size. So our problem is we think we're quite big. We think the activities of this body are our activities. So that's called illusion. So if we understand things properly, then we'll see that we're actually in a fallen state of consciousness. We've fallen into material existence, and therefore we can actually take shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and get his spiritual mercy. Those who take shelter of God, generally they take shelter of God as a neophyte devotee. Chatura vida bhajante mam jana sukritina arjuna artha jignasya artarati gyani cha bharatar shiva. The four kinds of pious people approach the Supreme Lord, and generally they want freedom from distress at the beginning. They don't know that because they're in material existence, they're in distress. Because they're in the material concept of life, hankering for material enjoyment, that's the cause of distress. But they go to God and they pray for freedom from distress, and gradually, by associating with the Supreme Lord, they get a little relief from their distress. Just like if you're in the ocean drowning, and someone lifts you up 1 inch above the water, you're free from the distress of drowning. You're still subjected to being dropped into the water again at any moment, but at least as long as you're above the water 1 inch, you're free from drowning. And those who are a little bit more advanced, then they're not only free from distress, but then they look around and they think how to live happily in the material world. Dear Lord, give me the intelligence how to grow nice, eat nice food, how to be eat organically, how to breathe fresh air, how to relate to people in such a way that I feel good and they feel good in this world. Feel good. And then a little bit more advanced than that, Jignasu, what is the actual way of living the material world in such a way as to benefit others? Not only I should feel good, but how to help others organize their lives so they feel good also. And above that are those who are actually free from all material concepts, who have actually realized that they are souls and are no longer interested in material happiness. So this is more or less the process that most people approach God, how to get progressively more material happiness by becoming free from material concepts of life. So, patita pavana hetu tava avatar, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's not only lifting up the poor fallen soul, but it's giving the soul a positive engagement in Krishna service. So therefore he's called patita pavana. But unless we see that we're patita pavana, that we're pavana, that we're bereft of spiritual happiness, spiritual knowledge, spiritual existence, then will approach Krishna and even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, thinking, please solve my material problems. And then Narottam Das Thakur prays, Dvaya Kora Sitapati Advaita Goshai, that Advaita Acharya, he was living in the society, Vedic society, compared to modern society. There were people who were not drug addicts, running after some kind of material enjoyment. They were regulated, fruitive workers, very carefully following their prescribed duties. They were Gyanis. They, compared to us, very exalted personalities. And yet he was lamenting that they had not any interest in love of God. Therefore he prayed that Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they'd come and they'd actually bestow spiritual consciousness upon people so they can understand what is the actual goal of life. So without, of course, Advaita Acharya, he's an incarnation of Lord Shiva and a Mahavishnu, the combined form. Therefore he's in charge of the universe. And what is this universe meant for? Saha Jagna Praja Shispa Puro Prakta Prajapati Anena Prasavikshadvam Eshayos Vishta Karmadu. The Supreme Lord created the universe. So Advaita Acharya, he helped create the universe. Why? To perform sacrifice. So by sacrifice, one can live happily and eventually go back to the spiritual world. So he saw so many people are engaged in the society very nicely according to the material concept of life, but no one is interested in love of God. So he prayed that Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda would come and bestow their mercy. So we take shelter of Advaita Acharya, asking for his mercy, his real spiritual mercy. Then we can also get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda, because he brought their mercy here. But how to understand all this? Aha Svarup Sanatana Rupa Raghuna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only spoke 7 verses, but he explained the whole philosophy of Krishna consciousness to the Goswamis. And they exhibited, manifested the feelings of separation from Radha and Krishna in this world, and explained it fully, step by step, how to come to that exalted position of actually feeling oneself to be Krishna's eternal servant in separation. Therefore, Nana Krishna Kirtana Gananartana Paro Premamritam Bonidhi Dira Dira Janapriyo Priyakaro Nirmasaro Pujito Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalago. So the 6 Goswamis, they showed us how to live in this material world and actually become Krishna conscious and give Krishna consciousness to others. And ultimately, Radha Krishna was at Hey Radhe Braja Devi Ke Chalalite Hey Nanda Shuna Kuta Shri Govardhana Kampapata Patale Kalindivane Kuta Koshantaviti Sarvato Prajapare Kedhir Mahavivalo Pande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyago Shri Jiva Gopalago. Ultimately, how to enter into that mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers of always living in this world, feeling our separation from Krishna and his associates in the spiritual world. So by studying their literature, we can learn how to actually take shelter of Advaita Acharya and get the mercy of Gaura Nitai. And their current representatives, as Prabhupada writes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the current link, at the end he prays, Dvaya Chorus Shiacharya. So the current Acharya in our movement is Srila Prabhupada. He explains exactly how to properly apply the teachings of the Goswamis in this age. He's given us Harinam and all the cities, Rath Yatra, book distribution, Prasadam distribution, how to establish temples and how to establish the deities. Prabhupada is the current Acharya in the link. He's given us the complete understanding of how to practically apply Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement in this age, all over the world. And may I live in the association of the followers of the Acharya who are actually sincerely trying to serve the Acharya and spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. So this song, although it appears that it was written 500 years ago, is actually just as relevant to our lives now. The song of Narottam Das Thakur. This is by serving the Acharya and the association of devotees. We can get the mercy of the six Goswamis as it's been delivered to us through the literature that Prabhupada has given us. And at the same time, understand how to live in this world and get the mercy of Advaita Acharya so that we can actually associate with Gaura Nitai, and through them their feelings of separation enter into the spiritual world of associating with Krishna through the feelings of separation that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is offering this age. And especially the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has brought the holy name. Of course, the holy name is there. In every age, the holy name is there. But only when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes with his associates is the holy name also delivered with these tense feelings of separation from the holy name or Radha and Krishna and Vrindavan. And therefore, if we follow the process, gradually these feelings of associating with Krishna through association, through separation, will manifest, and in that way we'll actually make this service in the Hare Krishna movement completely successful. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
How to get away with the material things, like we all are surrounded by the material things. So whenever I want to go from the away from the material thing, the thing gets me. How to get away from the material things?
Run. No, actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by this chanting of Hare Krishna, then gradually we'll understand that there's nothing material, everything is actually Krishna's energy. It's all spiritual. What's material is our consciousness. Because we look at the material world with the idea, let me become happy here. Therefore the material world becomes material. When we look at the material world as an opportunity to serve Krishna, then everything becomes spiritual. Because there's a question of our attitude towards this world. If we think it's our world for our enjoyment, that becomes our prison house. And if we think it's Krishna's world, and let me utilize it for his enjoyment, then it becomes the spiritual world. Anything else? Okay, thank you very much. Grandaraj, something. Shri Kanchanaka Ki Jai, Gaura Ki Jai, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Mahasabha Ki Jai, Gaura Purnima
Doce viscere, mama plezza, domosce, mamma mia,